Hey, Danny Gonzalez here from the floor with IndustrialSage. We're at Automate 2022, and I'm here at the SCHUNK booth with the president here, Milton Guerry. Milton, thank you so much for joining me today.
Danny, thanks for stopping by.
We're super excited to be here, check you guys out. For those who aren't familiar with SCHUNK, who are you and what do you do?
Well, SCHUNK, we're a worldwide supplier of componentry, and we're here in this automation industry, we are really focusing on end effectors. So you can look around this booth, you can see a lot of things, linear slides and things like that, but each one of those has a gripper on it. And that's because the gripper is the next thing, the closest thing to the part. So when you come to this show, you're seeing a lot of grippers, a lot of end effectors, a lot of things that are touching the componentry in automation.
Right, absolutely. Well, you know, obviously, I imagine you've got your work cut out for you, and over the last several years, we're seeing obviously a huge influx of automation needs. I mean, it was already happening before, but certainly because of this thing called the pandemic, you know, we've seen a massive acceleration of that. I imagine you guys have felt that as well, right?
Absolutely, and that's intuitive in itself, right? So I believe we've moved forward at least double pace through the pandemic, where automation is being adopted by more and more companies. We're seeing numbers come out of the A3, where for the first time in the last 2 years, the general industries have outpaced automotive in putting automation into use. So you're exactly right. Automation is in more and more industries that maybe weren't so apt to adopt it before.
Right. I am curious. I'm going to ask another question. You know, there's a question that I've heard from other manufacturers posing. Is this new trend in automation? Is this something that's temporary? We think it's coming in. You know, there's a lot of talk of reshoring and inshoring as people want to really retool, reposition their supply chains. What are you seeing? What do you think?
Yeah, so for sure, Danny, it is not just a trend that's going to fizzle out. I think this is a trend that we're looking for. Everyone wants to reshore, everyone wants to nearshore, everyone wants to get things closer to get their supply lines tighter. Not only that, it secures it for the future, and they get to a position where the automation is allowing them to produce where they want, how they want, and in the quantities for that market. So for sure, this is not just a short-term thing, it's the new trend.
It's the new trend, I like it. Well, speaking of new trend, sounds like you have a couple new innovations here that you're showcasing here at Automate. What are a couple things you got?
So one product we brought here is a product called Adheso, and it is using like gecko technology to pick up in a small mechanical release. It uses no energy whatsoever. It can pick up nearly anything that is suitable for life sciences, maybe semiconductor, kind of all those products. And so it is one product that we're very, very proud of, and we brought here to Automate.
Oh, that sounds super exciting. You said now there's no energy that's expensed. How is that possible?
Well, it's using something called the van der Waals principle, and that is a system a bit like the gecko's fingers are. So there's no energy except for, of course, the robot is moving in order to compress this pad or this medium in order to pick up the part, and then it's just released with the action of the robot again.
All right, that sounds super interesting. All right, what else you got? I know you got a bunch of things here. Give me one or two more.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's always something. I want to talk maybe about a trend. So we see a big trend in bundling products together. So customers want to get their robots out of a box, in front of a machine, out of a box, in front of a process much more quickly. So they want our products to come as a package. Not only as a package, Danny, what they also want them to do is they want them to come with software so that they're immediately able to control those products and they're off to the races.
Let's talk a little bit about lead times now. Let's say a manufacturer comes and says, hey, this is great, we love it, we're ready to rock and roll, we want 50 of these. What does that look like?
Well, we've been very fortunate so far in this pandemic, and for the most part, we don't have any systematic lead time issues. Most anything here you see on this show is available today in quantity. There's no doubt there's a lot of constraints on the supply lines all around the world. I think we're all manufacturers at the end of the day, and we're trying to react to those the best way we can.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you have. Well, congratulations, fantastic job. We're going to take a look at everything. Everything looks awesome. But thank you so much for spending some time with me and our audience, kind of sharing about who you guys are, what you guys are bringing to market. I think you guys got some pretty cool solutions.
Danny, thank you, and thank you so much for stopping by.